Colin was wrong.
Little surprise, John Snyder signed Cooper Kupp to that deal. His yards have declined 4 straight seasons. McVay moved off him because he couldn't get open. He's also missed 18 games in the last 3 years. Now, Schneider has drafted and acquired receivers at a really good rate, so he knows his stuff. But again, there's a $45 million 3 years. Again, the league has so much money now. They're looking for like a number 2 or 3 receiver. But I be honest with you, I didn't think he'd get that number.
Where Colin.
Yeah. Listen. Would you like to pay him less? Like I always say this, especially about players like this. Sure, especially when you look at his production and the level of play that he's been and the separation that he's been able to get. But I think he's still such a high level, high IQ player that I think just bringing him over to Seattle matters so much. Just even for the other guys around, as well as having him with Sam Darnold, I think could be really beneficial. And Clint Kubiak. I think so much of this is with Kubiak. So Kubiak had this offense for the Saints like just on fire, right? I mean, it was just like, oh my God. I mean, people were ready to make him practically surpass Ben Johnson. And then the team fell apart. They had a lot of injuries. They had, O-line injuries. Carr goes down. I mean, like it became a mess very quickly. And then at that point, I don't know what I'm really expecting a young OC especially to be able to figure out in that situation. It's just a brutal situation to try to figure out. And I think even established veteran head coaches struggle in that. So I think that there's real potential for him to really thrive with the Seattle Seahawks. Now, do they have the personnel to be able to do what he would like to do? Again, we're so early. We still need to see, especially the draft more than anything. They're definitely going to have to nail some draft picks. But I think if the Seahawks can really nail the draft and what they need to do, I think the Seahawks team can be incredibly competitive and incredibly successful. I'm really excited to see Sam Darnold and Kubiak more than anything, because I just think that has the potential to really pop. Again, gotta wait to see really kind of how this draft unfolds. But I think when you're bringing in another veteran like a Cooper Kupp, I just think more than anything, at the very least, you're going to be able to run the offense how you want to without needing a learning curve. And again, that's always the benefit. That's such a major benefit of when you have veterans, is that there's no learning curve. None. And so when you're managing and dealing with experienced players, especially if you're going to now bring in a new coach, because think about what you're doing here. You're bringing in new quarterback, new coordinator, new weapon, new weapons, receivers, etc. Like, that's a lot of new that all these guys are now going to be playing together for the first time. They all got to learn each other's language here. And so to have now some veterans, some guys that you just know that when I tell you to do something, I just know you know how to do it. I know you know how to just even show up on practice to practice on time. It matters. And I made a similar argument with the Chicago Bears of like getting veteran guys for the O-line. Like, you're having a new coach come in, you're having a second-year quarterback. Like, you need some stability. You need some veterans. Now, the fortunate thing is that Sam Darnold is a seasoned veteran, and this isn't his first rodeo playing with a whole new cast of characters and a new coach. And now you're bringing in Kupp, and so I think there could be a lot of success. Like I always say, also in this type of situation, do I think there can be some growing pains? For sure. And you'll have to do like a little bit of a deeper dive on the roster, especially once it's all finalized, once you officially go through the draft and all of that. But I like what Seattle's doing. I do think that they're actually making productive, positive steps in the right direction. And I still think that there's potential for Kubiak to be significantly better and brighter of an offensive coordinator than I think people are giving than people realize, actually. I'm so fascinated to see how this hire works out, as well as with Sam Darnold. So it's not just about Kupp, quite frankly. It's a collection of all of this together. But I don't think the way how that offense was run with the Saints when they were actually healthy and they kind of hit the ground running originally, and Carr was healthy, etc., etc. To me, it looked like incredibly high level football where they were also, everybody knew exactly what they needed to do, and they had a concrete plan of how they wanted to attack defenses. And the problem is, once you start dealing with injuries, it's harder to get those secondary, third players to step up and be able to do what needs to be done. And you can make the argument that a Kubiak didn't do a good enough job adapting to that. But like, I also made the same defense for I can't think of his name right now, but for another young OC, Bobby Slowick, it was just kind of like, I don't expect some of these younger coordinators to be able to figure all that out when they just spent like an entire offseason, preseason, etc., figuring out how to maximize the offense with the guys that they have right in front of them. And then like overnight, we're just like, okay, well, this guy's gone, we're going to bring in this guy. We're not really sure how good this guy is, but he needs to be here too. And you're just like, it's just a lot for a young coordinator who now doesn't have decades of offensive experience, especially without an established quarterback as well. And again, like he also had to do it with with the Saints with a backup quarterback. Like, things just got weird quickly. And so this could be arguably one of the best hires of the offseason in terms of coaching, at least especially from a coordinating perspective. So to me, that's the biggest thing that I'm going to be on the lookout for more than anything. And I just think that, again, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for a Cooper Kupp because he's such a workhorse, and he cares so much, and he prepares so much, and he practices so hard, that when you're bringing that into your locker room and you're combining that with a new quarterback and a new coach, I just see a lot of synergy there. So I'm excited personally. So I feel good about it in truth. But at the same time, the last thing I'll say is I'm not expecting Cooper Kupp though to be like, Super Bowl MVP level where he's just absolutely balling and this, because there are some injury concerns. He's obviously not what he once was, but the whole objective is to not treat him as if he is what he once was. And I think this contract even proves it, because he didn't get paid, he's not making $30 million a year here. So I think even this contract itself, even if the number kind of feels a little high because you see the 4-5, it's like kind of like, ooh, that's a chunk of change. But I think when you really kind of look at it and see kind of the type of receiver he is right now and what you're paying for, it's more than just what he's doing in the middle of the game. It's a lot of this other extra stuff that I think just helps connect the rest of the offense together when you're bringing in especially a new quarterback and a new coach. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the signing of Cooper Kupp with the Seahawks, as well as kind of the other offensive moves that the Seahawks have made? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.